Is that how you want to be? Like him?
He's not a victim.
I think he was responsible for his death.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank goodness, because
he had previously talked to Andrea,
yes,
but
he didn't really. Glad that they did talk about what Shane did or what they think he did, which we know he killed Otis, but they don't know that for sure. But I'm really glad they talked about that, because I was afraid it was going to be this thing where like I hate when in shows when someone will think they know something about a character and they kind of drop hints, or they say like, you know, oh, you don't want to get involved with that person, but they don't just tell you, and I'm like, just tell what you think he did.
Yeah.
So I was really glad that, you know, and I don't know if that's going to make Lori treat him differently in the future. I don't know, because I haven't seen enough after that to know, but I really hope so, because it was kind of scary. I mean, it was, it felt like you were seeing him completely change as a person.
Yeah.
So that was scary.
This is where you belong, Shane.
How's that, Dale?
This world, what it is now. This is where you belong.
Dale had those guns. I guess he was hiding them. I guess from Shane. I can't really remember why, but I remember Shane, you know, acting all villainy, and kind of sees him like, you know, what are you gonna do? You gonna shoot me? That when I first watched it, that scene made me start. I mean, I already wasn't really liking Shane, but in that moment, I was just kind of, what is this guy doing?
Stop 3 rounds in the chest. Could someone who's alive, could they just take that? Why is it still coming? That's its heart. It's long. Why is it still coming? Shane, enough! Hey, you're right, man. That is enough. Enough!
Walker's being shot and Herschel seeing them being shot, and it kind of made me like have this little flashback of as a kid I found this anthill and I thought it was so cool, and I ran to get my mom and I was like, Mom, come look at the ants, it's so neat. And or no, it wasn't an anthill, it was just like a bunch of ants on the sidewalk, and they were gathered around, you know, somebody dropped food or something. So I'm like, Mom, come look at the ants. So she comes out, and I didn't tell her, I don't think I told her what I was wanting her to come look at. It was just, come look at something. I found something neat. So I bring her out. She doesn't know what she's coming to look at. She looks down and she says, oh, ew, there's ants everywhere. And she starts stomping on, and she was like, ew, gross, there's ants. We have to get, and we were outside, and I just remember, like, the ants did not deserve this.
Right.
And I remember being so upset because I wanted her to come see the ants because I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
And then she starts stomping on them, and it just... So when all the walkers are coming out of the barn, and like Herschel's trying to keep them safe, and then they're just shooting them all right in front of Herschel, like one after the other.
Yeah.
Just they're all falling down, and Herschel's just left to stand there and watch this. And I felt so bad for him, 'cause it made me think of like when I was just like, you know, staring at my mom stomping on all the ants I wanted to show her. And I like it's like a weird memory, but I felt that way for Herschel. Like he's just forced to stare as everybody's shooting. You know, like that poor guy. I mean, he was trying to save them. He was trying to do what he thought would be the right thing. And then not only to have them killed, but to be killed all right in front of him. It was really rough.
It was. Now, what did you think about Shane at that moment? Because when he was the whole reason why he had enough, and he wanted to prove to him. And he did actually get through to Herschel when he shot him a few times, and they didn't go down. He was extremely violent. He was extremely hot-headed, but he did make his point.
Yeah, because Herschel later said, when I saw the 3 bullets go in and that person did not stop walking, I knew, like, they're not a person, like, that's not a human or whatever he said. But it was something like, so he did agree with him eventually.
And Rick, on the other hand, was just sort of appeasing him, going along with it. So it's kind of like, Rick has more of the heart. and Shane is brutal, but Shane got the job done.
But it totally shows you the difference between them, because Rick is totally about, I want people to feel better, I want people to feel safe, whatever. So even if he disagrees with Herschel, he was still helping him.
Yeah. He was still helping him, and he wanted to stay, and he was thinking about his family. He wanted to stay on the farm.
Right. I think that is part of
that was that was probably a bigger reason, yeah.
Not because he agreed with Herschel, but because
he didn't agree with him, but he didn't want him. He didn't want to make him mad.
And if I help you with what your goal is, then maybe you'll let us stay, or you'll help us with our goals. So.
Yeah, Rick firmly probably disagreed with the idea of trying to save people that he knows are already dead, but you know.
But you know. He did all that.
Yeah.
And Herschel, he did get through to Herschel. But he just seems so mean.
That we obviously get the huge reveal.
Staring at the screen and like, no, like, so they did like a shot of her feet and then went upward, and I was really hoping till the last second that the shot of her feet going upward was going to reveal when it got to the top of her that she was normal. She just maybe got trapped in the barn, or she was hiding in the barn or something, but she was still normal. So when it finally panned all the way up to her face and you saw that she wasn't normal, I just was like, it was heartbreaking. I mean, I know it's a TV show, but it was so sad.
No, it was
really sad.
If you're immersed into it, it doesn't matter if it's a show. It still gets you. It still connects to you. So yeah, no, that was brutal. Especially when you see Carol's reaction to it.
Yes.
It's just really
and then because they had found her doll, like when Daryl found her doll, it kind of like gave you a split second of hope that maybe they were gonna find her.
And him telling that story about the flowers and stuff, kind of thought it's just there's signs everywhere. Because I think I can kind of relate to the idea of like, hey, these are good signs. Whatever I'm wanting to happen is gonna happen, and then it doesn't. And you think, oh, those signs were worthless or whatever. So
I had that too.
Yeah, like that. It meant nothing. You wouldn't want someone to just randomly be killed, but they are so focused on survival, and I guess they worry about, I can't let anybody come and potentially